names must be self-explanatory. So I created Leadtionary to stand for the Dictionary of Leadership. It is an organization that is seeking to create a platform where very recognized and accomplished leaders can share their experiences with emerging leaders, especially high potential young leaders, people with an established interest in leadership from both governmental and business levels, including actually pastoral leaders and also traditional leaders as well. Well, yes, so leadership has been practiced and taught from Genesis up to now. When God created Adam and Eve, he gave them a leadership responsibility for everything that he's created. So leadership has been there. Leadership has survived because leadership is redefined based on the challenges that is presented to every generation. Leadership has been redefined. So leadership itself is a very dynamic thing that everybody needs to understand. Now, the difference between the Leadtionary series and other workshops that are done is that the Leadtionary series is taking the inspirational approach to leadership learning, unlike the traditional informational approach. The difference is this. While the informational approach focuses on the principles of leadership, the inspirational approach of Leadtionary series actually focuses on the personalities that created the principles. So more or less, it's like a live case study where you are seeing recognized leadership practitioners sharing experiences and ideas from their own leadership journey. Yes, it's a 50-week-long virtual leadership conversation. And so every year, we will create this platform where recognized leaders will use social media platforms to discuss their leadership experiences and their leadership journey. So it's going to be done every year. So the Leadtionary series is targeting high potential leaders who at this stage in their career are moving into leadership positions or are taking new leadership challenge, who are looking to drive change, lead innovation, and solve complex problems. That is the target. At the end of it all, we believe that leadership skills will be sharpened. Well, so we looked out for leaders. I believe that you cannot speak on what you have not successfully practiced. That is my belief. I call it the law of legitimacy. You can only talk on what you have successfully practiced. So the criteria for choosing these leaders is that they must be leaders and leadership practitioners, people that have led at the top level. I think that with our approach in leadership development, the inspirational approach to leadership development, I believe that Leadtionary is going to make huge impact in the future. I believe that Leadtionary will eventually attract thousands of young leaders to come over and drink from the wells of very experienced leaders. I believe that emerging democracies, developing countries, need to create a new breed of leaders, educated to global standards, who can lead change, drive innovation, and solve problems, and who can represent their continent on any platform around the world, who can negotiate good deals on behalf of developing countries, who can build good contacts, who have solid networks around the world. I believe that is the way to go. The next generation of leaders from emerging economies should be leaders with global skills, global leadership skills. They should be leaders who can think beyond the borders of their country. The nations of the world do not have borders anymore. And the leader that is limited in the borders of their minds can never grow their countries. Well, I think I am the leader to the future. I've answered it in my earlier submissions, but I believe that the leadership of the future is the leader without the borders of the mind, the leader without borders. I believe that the greatest disability in leadership is mental blindness. And I believe that the leader of the future should be a leader that can create the future by seeing the future, going the future, stay in the future, and getting along people to go with. Yes, leadership is driven by vision. I believe that visionaries are people who have seen the future, have created the future, and are able to influence people to go the future with them. Thank you for having me.
Professor Stephen Adey, Professor Cedric Bell, Lucy Quist, Professor Jackie McCoy, Lord David Trisman, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, Dr. Mrs. Ellen Hagan, Archbishop Charles Ajinosare, Bishop N.A. Takia Boy, Professor Johnson K. Asamoah Jaidu, Mamiko Reeves, Professor Mrs. Goski Alabi, Mrs. Pearl Eswa Mensah, Professor Emmanuel Kingsley Labi, Right Honorable Sir Jeffrey Donaldson, Dr. Sama Deyemi, Esan Koma, Demalin Foster, Professor Samuel Ni Odai, Professor Abednego Feyi Okoye Amate, Dr. Equals Piogabra, Patricia Obonai, Apostle General Sankrachi Ankra. Leadtionary 2023, live on Facebook at Bishop Gideon Titi-Ofei, every Thursday at 1900 GMT.